Hey everybody, it's Ahmed. I just want to explain what happened to me last night in Nazareth, and the story is not about me. I had 3 shows scheduled last night, and after the first show, the police took me. They asked me some questions. I said, look, is this optional? Can we do this tomorrow? They said, no, it's not. You're being detained. And so they asked me some questions about, am I inciting against Israel? I said, no. They said, will you incite? I said, no. They said, do you support Israel or are you against Israel? I said, I don't want to answer this question. They said, you need to answer. I said, none of the above. By the way, the whole time I had a lawyer outside with me that walked with me over there. They said, she can't come in. Okay, you don't get access to a lawyer here. Finally, they said to me, if you incite against Israel, just so you know, we can detain you for a very long period of time. It's called administrative detention. I said, okay. Then they asked me to sign a piece of paper in Hebrew. I said, I don't understand Hebrew, and I'm a lawyer in America. I shouldn't sign something I don't know about. They said, no, you need to sign it. So I wrote in English, I don't understand Hebrew, and then I initialed my name on it. But that's not the real story. The real story has nothing to do with me. The real story is that they held me for an hour and a half, hoping to kill the next 2 shows that were happening. But here's what happened. The people, the hundreds of people that came to see me last night, they sat in that theater and they waited for me to come back because they knew what was going on. And when I came back, they welcomed me with open arms. They didn't care that they sat around for an hour, and we had a show. And people laughed and they let out their emotions. And it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. This steadfastness of the Palestinian people. The other beautiful thing I experienced was my hometown community back in Dearborn, Michigan, which got the news a few hours later when I was already asleep, and were doing everything they could to reach out and help. And I cannot express how much I love them for all of that, and all the people who reached out to me. So I just want you all to know that I love you. Thank you for reaching out. But this is not about me. This is about the people of Palestine who are not going to let the attempts by Israel to silence us to go forward. We have to keep talking and keep going. And that's what the people last night did. And there's 2 more shows tonight. And then there's a show with 750 people the day after tomorrow in Ramallah. And we are not going to stop. We're going to keep going, telling our story and telling our truth. Because listen, I was lucky. What happened to me is 1% of what happens to Palestinians every single day. Maybe I was lucky because I had my American passport with me as well. Maybe I was lucky because there were lawyers waiting for me outside. But I'm not better than any other Palestinian who things 100 times worse happen to them. So let's just keep talking about Palestine. Free Palestine, as always.